Waiting for my son. The name is Gift Kasonda. Yeah, she was working here.
The horrible, agonizing wait as bodies are pulled from the rubble. We ask, how could a building under construction collapse on so many workers? The brutal side of illegal mining. A Zama kingpin linked to 29 murders is shot and killed. A moving memorial to remember a boxing great, Dingaan Thobela. And cementing a quarter-of-a-century grip on power, Vladimir Putin is sworn in as Russia's president for the 5th time. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton. Good to have you with us.
This is Eyewitness News.
Waiting for my son. The name is Gift Kasonda. Yeah, she was working here. So I was in the George Hospital to see her if she's there, but she didn't show anything. She said we must waiting until she found anyone there. So I don't know anything for now.
The agonizing wait, not knowing whether her son is dead or alive, or even where he is, after a building under construction collapsed on more than 70 workers yesterday afternoon in George.
Around 200 rescue workers have been on this site since the distress call came in on Monday afternoon, armed with drones, seismic equipment and sniffer dogs, among other sophisticated devices. Teams here say they're prepared to pull another all-nighter over several days to rescue the remaining construction workers trapped beneath the rubble.
I was in the garage. I thought this was very suspicious. I saw them, there were two, moving from the pedestrian gate to the driveway gate. So they were shouting.
Criminal attorney William Booth has taken the stand against Nafiz Modak. According to the state, Modak and his co-accused are behind the murder of top cop Charles Kinnear, Nico Heerschap, the father of a Hawks officer, and the attempted murder of Booth, among a slew of other charges, which include murder, attempted murder, managing a criminal enterprise, money laundering, and defeating the ends of justice. A suspected illicit mining kingpin linked to the 2022 Nomzamo Tavern shooting that left 16 people dead has been killed in a shootout with police. Gauteng police say they tracked the man down to Jabulani in Soweto during a joint operation at the weekend. 32 million rands worth of uncut diamonds was also seized.
The deceased suspect, who is a Lesotho national, has been linked to at least 29 illegal mining-related murders in Florida and Nomzamo in Soweto, where 16 people were killed at a local tavern. Just last week, the team also registered notable successes in Limpopo, where 62 illegal miners were arrested. 9 others were arrested in the Northern Cape. In the previous week, they seized 1 million in cash from Carltonville, as well as illicit mining equipment, such as your explosive devices and digging equipment.
The DA has received the most funding among political parties in the last 3 years, estimated at more than 164 million rand. Second is the ANC, at more than 148 million. The Freedom Front Plus remains the only party that has been flagged by the IEC for receiving a donation from a foreign government, after the party received 30 wheelchairs and 2,000 kilograms worth of rice from the Taiwan embassy in Cape Town.
This was not in the prohibited sphere of being influenced or using foreign assets in a political campaign.
Today, President Cyril Ramaphosa signed the Electoral Matters Amendment Bill into law. This bill amends the Political Party Funding Act passed in 2021, removing the 15 million rand a year limit on funding political parties may receive from external sources. It also removes the 100,000 rand threshold to declare these donations.
Dingaan was an unbelievable fighter. Across the board, he was loved by everybody.
Words of love and respect for former boxing world champion Dingaan Rose of Soweto Thobela. The 57-year-old's memorial service took place in Johannesburg today. He died last Wednesday after a short illness.
To be remembered, especially by the youngsters when they Google the name Dingaan Rose of Soweto Thobela, to realize what a legend he was, that he's one of the greatest fighters to ever put on gloves in a boxing ring in South Africa. And legendary, and he was a good person as well, and just sadly died too young.
The level of carnage, of repression and bloodshed is unprecedented in the modern history of Israel-Palestine. I don't think any of us, I've been working on this particular file for 7.5 years. I don't think I could have ever had in my worst nightmare seen the scale of destruction and killing and displacement. But let's be clear that the reason why we're seeing these unthinkable atrocities is precisely because of years of decades of impunity for Israel, for unlawful attacks, and for Israel's apartheid against Palestinians. We've seen many of these abuses before. What stands out this time is the scale. So the type of abuse, for the most part, we've seen, it's the scale of them that's simply unprecedented, and it's the result of that impunity that's been taking place for not years, but for decades.
And there are concerns it could get a whole lot worse. That's after Israel sent tanks into Rafah and seized a key crossing. Army footage has shown tanks flying the Israeli flag, taking, quote, operational control, unquote. An operation the United Nations says has denied it access to the key humanitarian passage. The military's thrust into the eastern sector of the city, packed with displaced civilians, came a day after Israel warned Palestinians in their area to evacuate ahead of a long-threatened ground operation. The US has said that mediation to free the hostages held captive by Hamas since October the 7th continues. This also happened today. Vladimir Putin has been sworn in as Russia's president for a 5th term. The Kremlin ceremony was boycotted by the United States and other Western countries. And I leave you with that story. See you again for more tomorrow.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.